Welcome back to the Homemade Haven. I've got some strawberries that I want to get into a couple of these beds and some seeds that I want to get started today. So let's get to it. Our weather is going to get up to about 70, 75 degrees today, and we have some mild temperatures throughout the weekend with a good rain. So I thought it would be a great time to go ahead and get our strawberries in the ground so that they can start getting that fresh rain and getting their roots good and established here in these beds. I have here in this tray 50 strawberry starts. This is more than what we're going to need for these raised beds. Our friends down the road have a strawberry farm, and so they order their strawberries in bulk. So we just bought some off of them rather than buying through another nursery. I know that the strawberries that they get are delicious and produce really well, so we just went ahead and got some from them. And this was the smallest amount that we could get. We're excited to get these going and have some strawberries. I've got 7 on each side here, and I like the spacing that I have with those. There's about a good foot in between each of these starts. That will give each one plenty of space to sprawl out and fill in. I'm going to go down this middle section now and kind of go in between the windows of each of these here. So there'll be 2 on each side, and I'll put like 1 in between each set there to maximize our space here in this bed. Directly across the garden, on this side, the mirroring bed, I plan to put more strawberries, so I'll probably put another 20 plants inside this bed. I got 2 different varieties of strawberries. I'm going to plant the other variety over here so that we have a mixture of different kinds. We may have some extra room to put some of these extra strawberries into our beds over in the ground. But I like the idea of having them in our 2-foot bed because you don't have to lean down to pick strawberries whenever the season comes around. If you've ever been picking strawberries, it can be really hard on your back bending over to reach the rows that are on the ground. So having them up off the ground just makes it so much easier on your back. So I'll probably end up rehoming most of these with my family and friends, whoever wants to plant some strawberries at their house. Water lines are in place and straw is all on here, nice and mulched. I've got it pulled away from the greens of the strawberries so that they can get plenty of sunlight and airflow. If we do get another super duper freezing cold night, I'll come out here and pile another layer of straw on top to act like a blanket and put either a tarp or some kind of row cover, like a bed sheet or something like that over it. I've kept my bricks in place here on the sides of each bed so that they're easy access if I need to go ahead and cover this bed. They can be my weight. Now I need to put up some kind of fencing around this perimeter to keep these guys out, because anything new, any freshly dug soil or new plant matter, they get very curious and want to get in there and see what it's all about. So I gotta try and keep them out of these beds, which it's that time of year they need to start staying out of the garden anyways, because we're gonna start planting more and more over the next couple of weeks. So I'm gonna get a fence up and hopefully keep these chickens out. It has already started misting, sprinkling a little bit, so I'm gonna have to hurry up out here and get what I need to get done. Next, I'm going to work on some seed starting. We're about 8 weeks off from our last frost date, so that means that I can go ahead and start some tomato seeds, some pepper seeds, and I'm gonna do another planting of like some spring greens, so like some collards and cabbage and stuff. The wind has been a little bit gusty here and there. I feel like it's always windy on planting day. I don't know why, but it's like every time I'm going to put seeds in the soil, it's just blowing. And so I guess that's just kind of par for the course this time of year. I don't know how great it is. I haven't tried this one. It's Jiffy's organic. We'll see how it goes. I'm just gonna pour it in my bucket. Add some water. There really isn't much better than getting your hands in some soil. I get like a completely different level of happy whenever I get to put my hands in some soil. I know it's proven science that when you get your hands in the soil, it gives you a hit of dopamine and helps balance its hormones and all of that kind of thing. And I believe it because I seriously look forward to this time of year all year long. And though we still have lots of cold weather left to come, a couple of days of warmer spring-like weather here in the middle of the winter has been so refreshing and so welcomed, and I can't wait for more of it. I'm gonna go ahead and make up my planters so that I can keep track of which ones I am putting in which cells here. I'm gonna be planting 5 different varieties of tomatoes. Now this is way more tomatoes than what we need here at our house. I don't do a lot of preserving tomatoes. I like to eat them fresh. Other than the flavor of homemade being superior, I feel like the price that you can get tomato products already prepared at the store just doesn't make sense for me, not in the middle of the summer whenever I'm already busy with everything else. So I'd rather just eat them fresh and buy my canned tomato products. Some other gardeners are probably really upset to hear that, but that's how we do here. I'm planting so many different tomato varieties because we sell our plant starts at the beginning of spring, and so I like to have a nice variety for the people that like to buy their plants from us. Moving on to my greens, I'm going to plant some early Jersey Wakefield cabbage, some cabbage collards, butter crunch lettuce, and some Bibb lettuce. I will plant a little bit extra than what we will eat as a family to help supplement some of our animals some greens, but a lot of these will probably end up getting sold in our plant sale as well. I got all of my tomatoes and all of my greens planted. I did not plant my peppers today because I remembered that the sweet pepper variety that I ordered have not arrived yet. So I'm waiting for those seeds to come in, but as soon as they come in, I'll get those planted. And then I have a lot more space here for some other starts like cucumbers and squash and watermelon, but I'm gonna wait a couple more weeks before I start those. They don't take quite as long to grow as like the tomatoes and peppers do, so there's no need to start them so early. Otherwise they'll outgrow their cells really fast and then I'll have to transplant all of them. So I'll wait until probably the end of February, maybe 1st of March before I start any other seeds. We are here inside of my dining room, and this window gets a fair amount of sun during the day, so this is where I'm gonna keep my starts at. I just have this rolling rack that I got from Amazon that is perfect for moving into the sun as I need to, and as the seedlings get a little bit bigger and stronger, I'll start taking them outside during the day to get more sunlight. I'm also gonna use these little greenhouse lids for each of these. I'm gonna set them right on top to help retain that heat and that humidity inside of each of these trays. First, I need to make sure that my trays have standing water in them, so I'll remove a few of these cells out, fill them with water, and then I'll go back with my seed mister and spray the top so that the soil stays good and moist. We do not want it to get dry at all. And we should have some little seedlings sprouting before too long. I will leave links to all of these different materials that I'm using. I got most of these through Amazon, so I'll put those in the description box below. You don't have to have a fancy setup or anything. You don't have to spend extra money. You can use whatever you have. You can use containers from like old salad bins, use newspaper. There are so many different ways that you can start seeds. I've gone ahead and invested in this system because it's easy for me, it's reusable, and I know I'm gonna get my money's worth out of it. This is our seed starting setup. Well, it is about time for me to start preparing dinner, believe it or not. This video took all day to get these things planted. I hope you enjoyed this plant with me video. I hope that you guys are getting inspired for springtime. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and stay tuned. It's just the beginning of the year and we still have lots of fun in store. So we'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.